Hey everyone, we have a quick 10-minute ab workout, so we'll go ahead and grab a water bottle and a mat and we'll get started. Okay, so let's start in a hand plank. All of these moves are 45 seconds on, 15 seconds of rest. And if you can see now, I dropped to my knees if you need that option. Finding your shoulders right over your wrist the whole time. Otherwise, you can always come down to the elbows and the forearms like I just did. Holding a nice straight line and looking right between your hands. Switching back to the hand plank for myself. Still holding a nice straight line from your heels all the way to the top of your head. And relax. Awesome. Okay, come on down to your belly. Arms are going to reach overhead, legs are going to be straight, and we're going to lift into a Superman. 45 seconds on again, 15 seconds for your rest. So on your inhale, go ahead and lift into Superman, lifting the legs and the arms at the same time, trying to lift the thighs and the knees off the mat. Same idea with the head and the neck in this position. In this move, you're going to look straight down so as not to hurt the neck. And I'll give you a variation here in a second, pulling back, kind of a lat pull down, but in your Superman position. Feel free to add that in or continue with what we were doing. And relax. Okay, come on to the sits bones. We're going to come up into a boat hold. So the legs are going to be about 90 degrees, pointing at the toes. Arms are right out by the sides. So adding on here, you can extend all the way down and come back up to that boat. All the way down, come up to the boat, or simply hold that boat hold for the whole time. Take your time in this move, extend all the way out, all the way back in. Inhale to extend, exhale to squeeze and come back in. Always coming back to that boat position. Keep going. And release. Awesome. Okay. So our next move, we're going to come on to stay on our sits bones, lean back, and we're going to go into a Russian twist. So either keeping your legs up, just like we had them, or in a moment I'll show you can bring your feet down to the ground. So either way, we're going to twist side to side, whole upper body twists, head, neck, and shoulders twist along with. The farther back you lean, the harder it's going to be. And keep your belly button tucked nice and tight. And we'll add on in just a second if you want to add a leg extension. Twisting towards that bent knee. Keep working. Or option again, always to go back to that first option, the Russian twist. And relax. Okay, we're going to come on to a side plank now. So left elbow down, right arm is going to lift up, straight up above our shoulder joint. And you can either go straight leg, so both feet are on the mat, or stacked. Or you can drop that bottom knee. Either way, you're keeping your left elbow right underneath that left shoulder and doing your best to lift that right arm in that same plane. The left oblique should be working to hold you up. Hold in a nice straight line and keep breathing. Maybe even bringing the hand down if necessary. And we come down. Simple. Now we just switch sides. So we're going to come onto the right forearm and the right elbow. Positioning our legs so that they're even with the right shoulder, the right elbow. And we lift the hips off the ground, finding that nice straight line from the right elbow all the way to the left fingertips. Again, maybe dropping that knee, that bottom knee, or stacking the feet for a full side plank. And release. Okay. Come all the way down to your back. And this time you can position your hands underneath your hips, or I'll show you in just a second. You can have your hands behind your head, but we're going to do single leg lowers. So dropping one leg at a time, keeping your legs right above the hips for a starting position. Doing your best to shove that lower back down into the mat. Doing your best to keep the legs straight and pointing the toes. As a second option for this one, you can bend the knees and tap the heel down. So just tapping one heel down at a time, same as we're doing here, just bend the knees. And if you see my hands move to my head, just to support my neck in an upward position, choose what feels right for you. Keep lowering and lifting. And relax. Okay, feet are about hip width apart. You can stay down on the mat. Hands can either come behind the head, across the chest, or fingertips on the mat where I'm going to go. We're going to go into a sit-up. So roll all the way up. If your fingertips are on the mat, do your best to glide them all the way to your toes, not lifting them up off the mat. If the sit-up's not working for you today, you can always go into a crunch or just a lift. That works as well. I'll show you that in just a second. Go to keep coming up. Or switching to that crunch. Tuck the chin in as you roll up. Chest comes to the knees or just about. All the way back down. Take your time. And done. Okay, back down fully to the mat. Hands are going to come underneath the hips again, and we're going to come up to flutter kicks. So toes are pointed, legs are lifted probably 2 inches up off the mat. And you're just going to flutter up and down, alternating feet, alternating legs. Hands can be underneath the hips or behind the head. So doing your best again here to keep your lower back pushed down into the mat. Then in a second I'm going to switch to scissors, so just crossing the feet over one another, and you can add that in as well. Keep going, lower belly is working. And lower. Take a breath. And we're gonna flip over onto our hands and our feet. We're gonna push up into push back into a down dog position. Lifting that right leg up, pointing the toes, and we're gonna come into an oblique crunch on the right side. So stick with this leg, and then we'll switch to the left leg in just a moment. We'll switch halfway through, so keep lifting and crunch to that elbow. So right knee coming to that right elbow, coming into that plank, lifting. Good, go ahead and switch legs. Inhale to lift that left leg up, crunch it into the left elbow. Last movement, you guys, keep working. All the way to the end, big lift. And lower down. Awesome work. Push back, Take a breath. Good work. Come onto your belly now and just push up to stretch out the core. Feel free to move your neck forward and back or side to side. And so we only went through one time, you guys. Feel free to go through again if you want some more. Otherwise, awesome work, good 10-minute workout, and you are done.